Hi, welcome to Vinyasa Yoga. My name is Derek, and I'll be guiding you through practice for the next hour. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and grab your mat and any props or blocks that you might want or need throughout practice. If you don't have any blocks, you can always use the edge of a chair or an ottoman or big heavy books. They help to make the arms a little bit longer. If you'd like to grab something for a little bit of knee support, we'll spend some time on our knees. Grab a towel or a blanket, or you can always fold up the edge of your mat. Once you've grabbed all those things, go ahead and make your way into a comfortable seat on the mat. That can be kneeling like I am, sitting cross-legged up on some height, or if you'd like, you can even start lying down on your back. Take a couple of minutes here to drop in. It's Thanksgiving week. I'm not sure when you're viewing this. Maybe it's before Thanksgiving, maybe it's after Thanksgiving. It could be a very emotional week right now. I know that with the new lockdown, a lot of plans have been disrupted. A lot of hopeful situations for seeing parents or friends or family over the week have been dissolved as a result. And you might be feeling any number of things. It might be sadness, frustration, anger, anxiety. So we'll take a moment to drop into those sensations. Take a second here to drop into the body and notice how any of those emotions or feelings play out in a physical sense. Let the eyes soften or close or gaze down at the mat if that's comfortable for you. Start to bring the focus to the breath. With each inhale, let yourself lift a little bit taller. And with each exhale, sink a little bit deeper into your seat. Let the sit bones or the knees melt down into the earth. Let the shoulders relax. Notice any places where you might be holding tension or tightness, and see if you can use the breath to gently start to smooth away those edges. And as you start to drop into the breath, I'd like to offer up an intention that I've been thinking about a lot. My wife and I are new puppy parents, and one of the things that I've had to focus on a lot over the last week is this intense focus on intentionality and very deliberate and purposeful action and movement. You know, puppies are little creatures of classical conditioning to an extreme. Everything you do imprints a little bit more onto them. And it's funny when I start to think about the things that I thought I was doing purposefully, intentionally, or deliberately. And when I'm interacting with a puppy, it's very obvious to me that I wasn't nearly as intentional or purposeful as I thought I might be. And this can really stand out to any part of our lives. In most parts of our lives, sometimes we can think we're being very intentional, such as when we step up onto the mat or when we start to focus on the breath. And it's in this practice when the mind starts to move away, when we're not being quite as intentional as we thought we were, that we have the opportunity to bring ourselves back, into focus, to bring the breath back into being the main component that we look at. We can use that breath to continue to guide our actions in that very purposeful and intentional manner. For Thanksgiving week, I like to think about this in terms of very intentionally eating all of the delicious food. Very intentionally eating pumpkin pie is my favorite. So throughout practice, if that kind of resonates with you, maybe pick something that you're going to eat or that you've already eaten and think about how you can do it in a more intentional way. And how that can manifest throughout practice is as we move through practice today, I want you to really focus on your breath as it belongs to you. I'll be providing breath cues along the whole way, but I really want you to take this practice and own it for yourself. There's no need to 100% match my inhales or exhales or move at the same pace that I do. You're more than welcome to, but if you find yourself having to run to catch up or slow down, take a moment to just allow yourself to be in your own body, with your own breath, with your own intention and purpose. Let's take 3 deep rounds of breath here together. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe in through the lips like sipping through a straw. And out through the nose. And then seal the lips and breathe in through the nose. And out through the nose. Let the eyes take on a little bit of light. Inhale, reach the arms out, sweep the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, bring the palms down to the ground in front of you. Shift forward onto the hands and knees. Bring the knees underneath the hips and the palms underneath the shoulders. Inhale, send the right leg back. And exhale, point the toes back toward the wall behind you. Inhale, pull the toes in towards the mat, flex them down towards the ground. Exhale, push the toes back towards the wall behind you. Take time to notice any sensations along the leg or knee or thigh or calf. Inhale, squeeze the toes in tight towards the ground. Nice 90-degree angle with the arch. And exhale, send the toes back towards the wall behind you. Inhale, one more time, pull the toes in tight, flex through the heel, press the heel back towards the wall behind you. Exhale, point the toes back towards that same wall. Inhale, bring the right knee back down to meet the left. And exhale, send the left leg back, point through the toes, set almost like an arrow pointing towards the back wall. Inhale, flex the toes in, press the heel back, point the toes down towards the mat. Exhale, send the toes back to point towards the wall. Inhale, squeeze the toes in, press the heel back. Notice any sensation through the hamstrings. And exhale, send the left toes back towards the wall. Inhale one more time, squeeze the toes in, maybe press the heel back a little bit more firmly this time. And exhale, send the toes back to point. Inhale, bring the left knee back down to meet the right. And exhale, start to sway the hips from left to right or rock back and forth over the palms and knees. Take some time here to introduce some fluid movement into your own body. Choose your own adventure here. Focus on the hips or the palms and the wrists. Come back to stillness in the center of the mat in a neutral tabletop position. Inhale, start to drop the belly, raise the chest, lift the hips, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, round the spine up, press the floor away, tuck the chin in tight towards the chest. Inhale to drop the belly, lift through the heart, pull the shoulders together and back, lift the head. Exhale to round the spine up. Tuck the chin towards the chest, squeeze the stomach in tight. Inhale to lower the belly and raise through the chest, pull the shoulders back, lift the hips, tilt the head back slightly. Exhale, round the spine up, tuck the chin towards the chest, lower the head down. Inhale back to a neutral spine position, and exhale, walk your hands back towards your knees. Pretend as if you've got paint on your palms. Take a lot of tiny little steps. Come up onto the thighs, lift through the chest, come into a high kneeling position. Inhale, reach both arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, bring the left hand, left hip, lean over towards the left, reach through the right fingers. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And exhale, right hand, right hip, lean towards the right side, reach through the left fingers. Inhale, swing the arms up high, lift the gaze towards the sky. Exhale, left hand, left hip, lean towards the left. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, bend over to the right. Try to keep the shoulder nice and snug in the socket, even as you extend through the left fingers. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale one more time on each side, bend over towards the left, maybe bend a little bit deeper this time. Inhale the hands up and then exhale over to the right. Continue to deepen that a little bit with the exhale. And as you come back to the middle after your last round, inhale to lift the hands up high and exhale, bring the palms back down to the mat in front of you. Shift forward onto the hands and knees again. Inhale, tuck the toes, and exhale, start to walk the hands back towards the knees again. But this time, as you come towards the knees, start to lift the knees up, push the heels back and down, come up onto the feet, walk the hands back towards the front of the feet, come into a forward fold at the back edge of the mat. Let the head and the torso hang for a moment. Take some time to check in with the legs, the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes. Notice if anything's feeling particularly tight or particularly loose. Let the hands run up and down the backs of the legs and the backs of the thighs. Notice where the weight is in your toes, in the feet, in the heels. Inhale, heel toe the feet together to touch. Bring the palms to the front of the shins. This time, slowly start to roll your way all the way up to stand. Take about 3 deep rounds of breath to get there. Keep a slight bend in the knees as you come up past them. Lift the palms past the thighs and push the hips forward. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze the shoulders together and down the back. Come to stand with the palms facing forward in mountain. Inhale, sweep the arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, palms together down through heart center. Bring the hands down beside the hips with the palms facing forward. Keep the feet heel-toe together or widen them out hip distance apart. And then start to swing from left to right. Imagine as if there are very large weights at the end of your hands. And as you twist through the torso, these weights swing back and forth. Even in these moments where we feel like these poses are a little bit loose, we can bring that intentionality into them. Intentionally focus on the torso swinging, or intentionally focus on where the hand slaps against the hips on the other side, or focus on where the weight is in the feet, lifting through the crown of the head, or any number of options that we can channel our focus to at any given moment, in any given pose. Take one more round of breath here. And then inhale, come back to stillness, heel toe the feet together, sweep the arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, wing the arms out wide, bend forward at the waist, dive down towards the toes, still at the back edge of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, palms to thighs or shins, squeeze the shoulders together. And exhale, bring the palms down to the mat. Start to walk those painted palms forward this time. Start to bend the knees, lower the knees back down onto the mat. Continue to walk the hands all the way forward. Come down onto the forearms and elbows. Slither the body forward like a snake. Lower the hips down, the chest, the belly. Bring the palms in towards the side of the ribs. Inhale, squeeze the elbows in. Lift through the chest. Reach the crown of the head up for cobra. And exhale, lower the chin back down. Inhale, squeeze the elbows in tight. Press down lightly with the palms. Raise the chest up. And exhale to lower. Inhale one more time. Raise through the chest. Pull the shoulders together. Maybe lift the palms up off the ground. Exhale, drop the chin back down low. Inhale, press down through the palms, push up onto the knees, and exhale, push the hips back low for child's pose. Bring the palms and arms out long in front. The knees can be out wide, almost mat width apart or even wider, or they can stay sucked together in the center. You'll feel a slightly different sensation either way. Take 2 rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, raise the hips up over the knees. And exhale, tuck the toes, raise the knees, push the hips up and back to come into our first downward facing dog. Take some time here to pedal out the feet, to raise one heel and lower the other, and start to bring that intentionality and focus into this pose. Pick one particular thing to focus on for your downward dog throughout the rest of practice. Maybe that's really committing to bending the knees to see if you can feel the spine lengthen a little bit more, or really pressing down into the palms or rotating the elbows in towards the sides of the ribs. If you're moving, come back to stillness. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat, and exhale, take about a dozen steps to come towards the front. This time, imagine as if there's paint on the bottom of your feet. You're trying to draw 2 solid lines all the way to the top between your hands. Lots of little steps. Come up between the fingers, steeple the fingers down into the ground. Forward fold at the front. Let the head and the torso hang heavy. Heel toe the feet together to touch. Inhale, lift halfway, bring the palms to thighs or shins, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, drop the palms back down to the mat. Inhale, bring the palms to the front of the shins. This time, slowly roll up in about a breath and a half. A little bit quicker, drive down through the heels, push the hips forward, lift through the chest, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze the shoulders together and down. Come to stand at the front in mountain with the palms facing forward. Inhale, sweep both arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, bring the hands down to the hips. Step the left foot back as far as you can, all the way towards the back edge of the mat. Pivot the left foot so it's parallel with the back, and the front foot so it's parallel with the front. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the corners of the room. Big star pose. And exhale to stay. Drive down through the feet. Squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other. Get as big as possible with your inhales. Reach the fingers up a little bit higher, but continue to pull the shoulders into their sockets. Use this opposing force of the pulling the shoulders in and reaching the fingers out. So see if that increases sensation anywhere. Notice what's happening with the shoulders. If they hike up towards the ears, see if you can draw them gently down the back. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, reach a little bit higher. Exhale, pivot the heels in towards the middle, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the hips down to goddess or horse squat. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up and out, and exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, drop down. Inhale to straighten and lift, and exhale to bend and lower. Inhale one more time, reach up towards the corners of the room, and exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, drop the hips down. Keep the arms raised. We're going to stay here for a little bit, or bring the palms in to touch at heart center, or bring the hands to the tops of the thighs. If at any point the heat or intensity in the thighs becomes too much, you can start to sway from left to right and lengthen one leg and then the other. Bring that intentionality and that focus into this pose. Really drive down through the heels and bring that opposing movement in as well. Squeeze the thighs in towards each other, even as you open the knees a little bit more, almost like a book. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up and out. Exhale, pivot the back heel to parallel with the back. Pivot the right foot towards the front, bend into the right knee, drop the right elbow to the right thigh, reach the left arm up. Exhale to stay. Bring the gaze up towards the left hand or glance down towards the right toes. Inhale, bring both hands down to frame the right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left. Exhale, drop the left knee down, untuck the left toes, grab any arm extending blocks or books that you might want to use. Inhale, press down firmly through the right foot, raise the chest, lift the arms up high. Exhale, hands down, frame the right foot. Inhale, press down into the left palm, twist the right chest and right arm up high. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Inhale, twist the right arm up. Bring the fingers high. And exhale to lower. Inhale one more time, twist the right torso up, reach the fingers high, and exhale, bring the right palm down to frame the foot. Inhale, start to glide the right knee over the right toes, raise the chest, squeeze the shoulders together and back. If you don't have blocks, you can bring hands to the top of the right thigh. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten the right leg, bend the forehead down low. Inhale, glide the hips towards the front, right knee over the toes, raise the chest, lift the top of the head. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten through the right leg, bend the forehead down low. Inhale one more time, knee over the toes, lift through the heart, squeeze the shoulders together and back. And exhale, push the hips back, straighten through the right leg, bend the forehead down towards the knee. Inhale the right knee over the right ankle, move any blocks or props off to the side, frame the foot with the hands, and exhale, tuck the left toes, raise the left knee, step the left foot forward to meet the right at the front in a forward fold. Take a moment here to notice any differences between the right or left side. Take one more round of breath. Inhale, lift halfway, palms to thighs or shins, reach the crown of the head towards the front. Exhale, plant both palms back down on the ground. Inhale, palms to the front of the shins. This time, roll up quite quickly. Engage through the glutes, drive down through the heels, lift up through the chest, shrug the shoulders towards the ears, squeeze the shoulders down and back. Palms come to the hips, facing forward in mountain. Inhale, reach the arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. Exhale, hands down to the hips. This time, step the right foot back as far as possible. Pivot the right foot parallel with the back edge of the mat and the left foot parallel with the front. Inhale, reach both arms out and up. We're back in star pose, probably one of my favorite poses. But this time, as you exhale, pivot the heels in towards the middle, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the hips down into horse or goddess. Inhale to straighten and reach the arms out and up. And exhale, bend and lower, drop the hips down. Inhale to rise. And exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, drop the hips down. Inhale one more time, shoot the legs and the arms out and straight. And exhale to bend and lower. This time we'll stay for a few rounds of breath. If you stayed static the first time, play around with that movement from left to right. And if you moved the first time, see if you can stay still and how that feels through the body. Take 3 rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up and out. Exhale, pivot the left foot towards the front, bend into the left knee, left elbow, left thigh, right arm high. We'll stay here for a breath or two. With each inhale, reach the right fingers up a little bit higher, but continue to pull the shoulder down into its socket. Continue to focus on that opposing movement. Inhale, bring both hands down, frame the left foot, pivot onto the ball of the right. Exhale, drop the right knee, untuck the right toes, find those arm extenders if you're using them, and frame the left foot. Inhale, press down through the left foot, raise the chest, reach the arms up high. And exhale, lower the hands down, frame the left foot. Inhale, lift through the chest, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands down, frame the left foot. Inhale, press down through the right palm, twist the left arm up, reach the fingers high. And exhale, lower the hand down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. And exhale to lower. Inhale one more time, twist the left side of the torso, follow with the arm and the fingers. And exhale, bring the left hand down. Inhale, same as the first time, left knee over the left toes, raise the chest, pull the shoulders together and back. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten the left leg, bend the forehead down towards the knee. Inhale, glide the hips forward, left knee over the toes, raise the chest, pull the shoulders together and back. Exhale, send the hips back, lengthen the leg, bend the head down. Inhale one more time towards the front, lift the heart, raise the crown, pull the shoulders. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the left leg, bow towards the left knee. Inhale, left knee over left ankle, move any blocks or props off to the side, frame the left foot. Exhale, tuck the toes, raise the right knee, step the right foot forward to meet the left at the front. Let the head and the torso hang heavy here for a moment. Swing from left to right or grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. On your next inhale, lift halfway, bring palms to thighs or shins, chest parallel with the floor. Exhale, plant the palms, step both feet back into a plank. We'll stay here for 5 rounds of breath. You have the opportunity to play around with this. Drop the knees to decrease the heat a little bit, or come down onto the forearms to increase the focus through the core a little bit more. Whichever option you choose, continue to really drive down through the elbows or through the palms to find that engagement through the shoulder girdle so that you don't end up just collapsing onto the skeleton. Use that intentional focus here to be very intentional and mindful about the activation of the core, the muscles in the arms, even through the legs and toes. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, shift forward, top of a push-up position. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, bring the arms back alongside the hips. Press the tops of the feet down, raise through the chest for a half locust. Exhale, lower back down, rest on the left or right cheek. Inhale, reach the fingers back towards the toes, raise through the chest, lift the crown of the head up. And exhale, lower the head, rest down on the opposite cheek. Inhale this time, lift through the crown of the head. Decide if you'd like to keep the legs down or raise them up as you lift the chest as well. And exhale, drop back down, bring the chin towards the ground. Inhale, bring the palms back to either side of the ribs, tuck the toes, and exhale, reverse push up. And then push the hips up and back to downward facing dog, or drop the knees and push the hips back low for child's pose. Take 3 rounds of breath here. You're in child's or puppy pose. On your next inhale, start to make your way up to downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, raise the right leg up, and exhale, slowly bring the right knee towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale, lift the right foot high. Exhale, knee to nose. Imagine as if there's light beams attached to your knee and you're slowly drawing through the air. Inhale the right foot up. And exhale one more time, knee to nose, round the spine. Bring the right foot forward as far as possible without touching. Inhale the right foot up, up, up. And exhale. This time, slowly step the right foot forward between the hands. If it doesn't quite make it, just move it forward the rest of the way. Inhale, raise through the chest, lift the arms up, bring the gaze high, add a slight bend to the left knee. And as you exhale, start to twist open to the right, reach the arms to the front and the back, bring the gaze over towards the right. Inhale, sweep the hands back towards the center. And exhale, slowly drag the right hand back like you're pulling a bowstring. Reach the left arm towards the front, twist towards the right side. Inhale, swing the hands back towards the front. And exhale, last time, open the bow, pull the right hand back, reach the hands towards the front and the back. This time we'll stay here for a couple rounds of breath. You always have the option to drop the left knee down for a little bit more stability. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, sweep the hands towards the front, lift through the chest, reach the gaze high. Exhale, pivot the left heel down, bend into the right knee, open the arms to the front and back of the room for warrior two. Bring the gaze over the right fingers. Take a moment here to adjust your warrior two stance. The front heel does not have to be completely in line with the back of the left arch. Play around with how wide that stance is, how much of a bend you have in the right knee. Some days it's nice to have a little bit lighter of a bend. Some days we want to feel the intensity of the deeper movement. Inhale, reach the right hand towards the front, flip the palm up, sweep it over and back, left hand, left thigh, right arm high. Exhale, right elbow to right thigh, left arm up. This time with some additional options. Keep the left arm reaching towards the ceiling or reach overhead towards the front of the room. Or take the left arm and circle it around the left hip towards the inside of the right for a half bind. You also have the option to bring the right hand down to the mat or down onto a block or onto some kind of height. We'll stay for 2 more rounds of breath. If you're in a bind, on your next inhale, slowly start to come out of it. Reach the left hand up. And everyone, exhale, bring both hands down, frame the right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left. Inhale, send the right foot back to meet the left. And exhale, shift forward, squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway for chaturanga or all the way down to the ground. Inhale, untuck the toes, your choice, cobra or locust. Reach the chest up, lift the crown of the head towards the sky. And exhale, again, your choice. Push up onto the knees and back for child's pose, or reverse push up and lift the hips back high for downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here. You're in child's pose. On your next inhale, start to make your way up to downward facing dog. And from down dog, inhale, raise the left leg up. Remember those lights attached to the knees and foot. Exhale, pull the left knee in towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale, send the left leg back and up. And exhale, squeeze the core in tight, bring the left knee forward. Inhale, the left foot high. And exhale, last time, knee to nose, left foot as far forward as possible without touching. Inhale the left foot up and exhale, step the left foot forward between your hands. If it doesn't quite make it, just move it forward the rest of the way. Inhale, drive back through the ball of the right foot, raise the chest, reach the arms up, add a slight bend into the right knee, and exhale, pull the left hand back, twist open towards the left, reach the hands towards the front and the back. Inhale, sweep the hands towards the front. And exhale, draw the bowstring back. Imagine it's a lighted bow. Reach the hands towards the front and back. Inhale, sweep the hands towards the front and up high. And exhale, last time, open towards the left. Pull the left hand back. Drop the right knee if you'd like for a little bit more stability. We'll stay for 3 breaths. On your next inhale, swing the hands towards the front, reach the arms up, and exhale, pivot the right foot down, bend into the left knee, open the arms to the front and back of the room, warrior 2 on this side. Take the same couple breaths here to find that comfortable warrior 2 pose. Maybe this side feels like you want to go a little bit deeper in the left knee or a little bit less. As you find that pose, continue to ground down through the feet to help lengthen through the spine and lift up through the crown of the head. Imagine as if someone has attached a string to the top of your head and is pulling you straight up even as you continue to push down. That same principle of the opposing force and opposing movement. Inhale, reach the left hand towards the front, flip the palm up, sweep the arm overhead and back, right hand, right thigh, left arm high. Exhale, left elbow to left thigh, right arm up. Here's that time for optionality again. Keep the right fingers pointing towards the ceiling or reach the right arm overhead towards the front or circle the right arm around the right hip towards the left for that half bind. Decide what you'd like to do with the left hand as well, and play with the gaze. Take one more round of breath here. You're in a bind. Inhale, the right arm up high. Exhale, everyone, both hands down, frame the left foot, pivot onto the ball of the right. Inhale, send the left foot back to meet the right. And exhale, shift forward, squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway for chaturanga or all the way down to the ground. Inhale, untuck the toes, cobra, locust, or upward facing dog as you choose. And exhale, send the hips back low for child's pose or up and back high for downward facing dog. Take 5 rounds of breath this time. Notice if the mind has started to wander anywhere, the quicker the movements grow. Notice if you started breathing a little bit less intentionally or purposefully as we move through practice. I can guarantee you that the more excited my puppy gets, the less intentional I am with the actions and the training I'm trying to do with him. If you're in child's or puppy pose, on your next inhale, start to make your way up to downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, walk, step, or jump forward between the hands, forward fold at the front. Inhale, heel toe the feet together to touch, lift halfway, palms on thighs or shins, reach the crown of the head towards the front. Exhale, plant both palms down on the mat. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, sweep the arms out, drive down through the heels, straighten the legs, reach the hands all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, shift the weight back into the heels, bend the knees, lower the hips, drop down into chair pose, squeeze the thighs in firmly towards each other, bring the palms down to heart center. We're gonna play around a little bit here now. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, reach the crown of the head up, squeeze the glutes, and exhale, send the right foot back towards the back edge of the mat. Bend the right knee slightly, come into a crescent lunge with the hands at heart center. Inhale to stay. Exhale to stay. Inhale, slowly step the right foot forward to meet the left at the front. Exhale, send the left foot back to the back edge of the mat. Bend the left knee slightly, bend the front knee, come into crescent on the left side, palms at the chest. One round of breath here. Inhale, slowly bring the left foot forward to meet the right at the front. Exhale, start to bend a little bit more into the knees and twist over to the right. Start to hook the left elbow on the outside of the right knee, or stay in this slightly higher position into a twisted prayer pose. Here's where things get even more interesting. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale to stay. And on your exhale, still in the twisted prayer pose, start to send the left foot back towards the back edge of the mat. You might wibble or fall over, and that's totally fine. Part of the fun of yoga is exploring these places of balance and imbalance. Stay in this revolved crescent pose. On your next inhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right at the front. Try to stay in that twisted, revolved prayer pose. And on your next inhale, slowly pivot back towards the middle. Straighten the legs, reach the arms up. And exhale, bring the hands down to the hips. Take a moment to shake the right leg out. Maybe take big, wide circles with the leg or with the knee to loosen any tension in the hips. And then bring the right foot back down to meet the left. Inhale, sweep both arms out, lift the hands up, bring the gaze high. And exhale, send the weight back into the heels, palms together at heart center, drop the knees, and lower down into chair pose. Inhale to slowly start to tilt forward like one of those dipping birds and start to twist open to the left. Stay here or hook the right elbow on the outside of the left knee this time. Inhale to stay. And exhale, slowly send the right foot back towards the back edge of the mat. Notice if this side is different from the first. We like to think that both of our sides are equal and that everything's the same between them. But oftentimes we have a side that feels stronger or more balancing or more capable of doing what we're asking of it. If you'd like to drop the right knee, just like we did earlier, for a little bit more stability, that's always an option. Stay with this for one more round of breath. On your inhale, slowly step the right foot towards the front, still in a twisted prayer pose. And exhale, this time, bring the hands back to the center of the mat. Let the head and the torso hang in a forward fold. Sway from left to right, or grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. Notice how each side feels. Notice how the hips feel. Inhale, bring the palms to the front of the shins. Slowly start to roll your way all the way up to stand. Keep a slight bend in the knees. Push the hips towards the front. Lift through the chest. Shrug the shoulders up and down. Bring the palms towards the front in mountain. Inhale, heel toe the feet hip width apart. Take a moment here to start to bring some focus down into the feet. I always like to give my feet a little bit of a pep talk before we move into any kind of one leg balancing pose. So look at your right foot. If a pep talk works for you, tell it it's going to do great. You're going to do great, right foot. You're the best right foot that ever lived. You're going to balance perfectly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So to bring that attention and that focus and that intention down into the right foot, press down through the heel, down through the toes. Inhale, bring the hands to the hips, find somewhere to focus your gaze, raise the left knee and the left foot up, and then exhale, lay the left knee over the right knee and start to pull the left knee back in towards the leg. Stay here in this standing figure four, or start to bend the right knee and lower down to deepen the intensity of the stretch on the outer left hip. Flex through the left foot and through the left toes to help protect this left knee. If you'd like to take this even deeper, you can start to fold forward down onto some kind of height, onto blocks, or down onto a chair or an ottoman, or you can come all the way down onto the tips of the fingers or down onto the palms. Just stay very conscious of the left knee. We don't ever want to feel any kind of tweaking or pinching or pain in the knee joint. So if you feel that, start to ease off a little bit, just to the point where you don't. We'll stay here for 3 rounds of breath. On your next inhale, if you're folded forward, slowly start to come back up. And as you exhale, drop the left foot down, shake the right leg out, take some wide circles with the right foot or the right knee, and almost fall over perhaps. Then bring the right foot back down. If the pep talk worked for you, or if you just thought it was fun, give your left foot the same pep talk, or maybe a different pep talk. Both sides of our body are a little bit different. And then start to bring that focus down into the left foot. Drive down through the heel, through the toes. Find that focal point to bring your attention to. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, raise the right knee and the right foot. Exhale, bring the right foot over the left knee. Pull the right knee back towards the leg. Back to that same open book movement. Then decide if you want to stay here or start to bend the left knee and lower down. The lower you go, the more sensation you might feel in the outer right hip. Decide if you'd like to stay here or start to bend more down towards the ground. We'll stay for another 3 deep rounds of breath on this side. On your next inhale, if you fold it forward, start to slowly pull yourself back up. And exhale, drop the right foot down, shake the left leg out or take those wide hip circles. And then bring the left foot back. I always like to lower down to the ground as slowly as we came up. So start to let the torso and the head and the arms grow heavy, almost like you're a zombie. You could be a Thanksgiving zombie, stuffed with delicious food, and slowly bend the knees, bring the palms down to the ground, walk the feet back, lower down onto the knees, walk the hands back towards the knees, towards the hips, swing the legs and feet around towards the front of the mat. Bring the palms back behind the hips, lower down onto the forearms or slowly down onto the shoulders and back. Inhale, bring the heels in close to the hips. Bring the palms beside the hips. Press the palms down into the ground. Keep the knees approximately hip width apart. Take another inhale here to prepare. Press down into the toes and into the heels. And exhale, lift up through the hips. Press the hips towards the sky. Raise the low back, the mid back, the upper back. Stay in this high bridge. Or if you'd like, you can make this restorative by placing a block underneath the hips. If you don't have a block, you can stack the hands on top of each other and rest the sacrum down on them. It's a little different, but it kind of does the job. We'll just take 3 rounds of breath here. I always like to strengthen the hips a little bit after doing some hip opening. On your next inhale, slowly start to lower down. If you've got a block, go ahead and remove it and start to drop the hips towards the earth. Once the hips touch down, inhale the feet up, bring the knees in close towards the chest, wrap the arms around the thighs or the shins or the backs of the knees, and hug in tight for a little hug. Sway from left to right to massage the lower back. And in this last moment or two before Shavasana, take any final poses or preparations that your body might be asking for. That might be a happy baby or supine twist or some variation of legs up the wall. Since we're all at home, it can actually be quite nice to put legs up the wall as a resting pose as well. And when you come on down, there's a couple of options for a resting pose. The knees knocked together with the feet mat width apart, or the soles of the feet and the heels together with the knees out wide in Supta Baddha Konasana. You can also bring blocks underneath the knees here for a little bit of support. Or let the legs stretch out long with the palms along the side facing up towards the ceiling. Once you reach your resting pose, take one last deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth to release. Release your focus on the body. Let your fingers and toes and arms and legs grow heavy. Imagine as if someone is gently pressing against the front of your shoulders, easing you down into the firm and stable support of the ground. Let the eyes soften or close completely. Remove any control of the breath and spend the next several minutes observing it, non-judgmentally, compassionately, Slowly start to bring yourself back to your body, beginning with the breath. Add a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes and arms and legs. Gently rock from left to right, and eventually make your way over onto whichever side is your favorite side. Take a moment here to feel any sensations or feelings or emotions moving through the body. Slowly push your way up into a seat. Let the eyes stay soft or downcast for another moment. If it feels right for you, bring your hands together, palms touching at heart center, and bow your head to seal our practice. Thank you very much for showing up and practicing with me this Thanksgiving week. Hopefully, we can all go through the rest of the day and the rest of the week with that eye on intentionality and purposeful movement and intentional action. Namaste. Thank you very much. Hope you have or had a lovely Thanksgiving, and see you hopefully in the next couple weeks. Have a great day.